Sister Layla live. Sister Layla live. Weekly for the show at the hour. Ask Sister Layla live. Sister Layla. Invite your friends and family. Make it cozy. Ask Sister Layla.
Wassalamu wa Rasulullah. I want to welcome everybody to the Ask Sister Layla live show. And this is where you come once a week and you can ask your questions about Islam. And inshallah, I'll try to give you the answer. And whenever I answer, my answers are always based on the Quran and the Sunnah. I am not going to answer your question with a fatwa from some Islam Q&A show. If you guys ask me a question, I'm going to give you the dalil from the Quran or the authentic Hadith, and I'm going to give you the understanding. I'll even add to the answer the understanding that the companions had about whatever the topic or the issue is. And if there is a question that I cannot answer, which there most likely will be, don't worry. I have Sheikh Mustafa Morsi Abu Atayib, who is one of the scholars of the ulama, and he's my personal teacher. You know, he's on standby, and inshallah, he'll be able to answer if I can't. So there's different ways that you can get your questions answered here. I am streaming live and simultaneously on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, now known as X, Twitch, LinkedIn, and Rumble. All you have to do, if you're on any of those platforms, is type your question, and inshallah, I should be able to see it. And also, there's another way you can get your questions answered. You can simply join our Zoom room at www.Sunnahfollowers.net. Click where it says Join Zoom Room, and that's the address up there. Or you can go to the website at www.Sunnahfollowers.net, and there's a chat box. Click on that tab that says chat, and you can type your question to me. It'll come to me through WhatsApp, or you can join or call our WhatsApp group or call our phone number at, what's the number again?
862.
Okay. It's 862-370-2838. That's the number. Let me type it. I'm going to put it up here on the screen so everyone can see. Yeah. So these are the other means in which you can get your questions answered. You can go to Sunnahfollowers.net, use the Zoom room, or use the tab that says chat, or you can call in at that number. That's the call-in number, 862-370-2838. And the phone lines are open, and I do have operators standing by to take any of the calls. So let's get started. Do we have any questions? I see we have some sisters who, Sister Saba's here, and she was eager to get her questions asked, so I'm here to answer them. Fame, would you like to read her first question?
Yeah, the first question is, I saw a clip of a famous speaker who was in Pakistan. He mentioned that Muslims in America have a lower chance of going to paradise compared to those in Pakistan, attributing to the prevalence of zina and improper dress amongst women.
Okay, this is an example of ignorance. Okay, and I do mean ignorance. Just because a person is famous doesn't mean that that person is intelligent. Just because a person is famous doesn't mean anything, because I'm going to give you an example. Who's the most famous personality of all? Shaitan, Iblis. There is no one on this earth more famous than Iblis. He's been around longer than anyone, and he has more followers than even Allah has. Iblis has more followers than even Allah. What's the dalil? The fact that Allah tells us that there'll be more people in hell than paradise. So be careful of famous personalities, because many of them are just ignorant. And I'm going to tell you why this person is ignorant. There's only a few things. There's a few things that no one knows but Allah. Only Allah knows who's going to paradise, and only Allah knows who's going to hell. Allah tells us that in the Quran, that we don't know. Even the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said he can't tell you who's going to paradise and who's going to hell. So who is this personality that he thinks that he knows better and knows more than the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Okay, so this is an ignorant person, and that's why I tell you guys, be careful of what people say. If people speak about this religion, they have to be able to back up what they say with Quran or authentic Hadith. If I'm going to tell you that anybody that lives in a particular part of this earth has a lower chance of paradise, then I have to bring the verse from the Quran where Allah says people living in America have a lower chance of paradise than anywhere else. Allah never made that statement. The Prophet Muhammad never made that statement. So this is an ignorant person. And the simple fact that that person made that statement, that should tell you that he's somebody you should never listen to ever again. Because guess what? Zina is everywhere. They commit zina in Pakistan. In fact, it's always on the news how they're gang raping people over there. So zina is everywhere. Allah says in the Quran that fitna is everywhere. Allah didn't say that fitna is only in one part of this earth. Allah says the entire earth is a place of fitna, a place of temptation. So whoever this person is, he's ignorant. And I wouldn't listen to anything else that ever came out of his mouth again. And Allah knows best. Okay. Next question.
The second question is, are Muslims in America responsible for what's happening in Gaza due to the tax money they pay to the U.S. government?
This is another example of what we talked about in my 6:30 class. Why is it that people make these type of statements? It's because we have no idea of Tawheed or Rububiyah, the Lordship of Allah. Now, do you guys see why my dawah is geared towards Muslims and I focus on Tawheed or Rububiyah? That's one of the things we talked about today. Most people belong to the Sufi sect. And like I told you guys, the Sufis have a problem. What is their problem? They have a problem accepting the qadr of Allah. They have a problem believing and accepting that Allah is the creator. Allah is the creator of everything good. Allah is the creator of everything evil too. And nothing happens unless Allah wills it. The war in Gaza is happening because Allah willed it. It has nothing to do with America. It has nothing to do with Israel. It has nothing to do with taxpayers' monies. It has to do with the qadr of Allah. Allah said that this war would happen. The Prophet Muhammad lived in the 6th century. And in the 6th century, he said the war against Islam, it will begin in the East and it will spread throughout the entire world. It's one of the major signs of the last hour. So we're here. So America and America's money and all of that have nothing to do with the qadr of Allah. Everything that's happening in this world, good and bad, is happening because Allah willed it to happen. Like we talked about earlier today, Allah wrote in his book thousands, over 50,000 years before he created the heavens and the earth. Allah had it written in his book that the war in Gaza and in Afghanistan and the rest of this earth would happen on such and such day at such and such time. And not only did Allah will it to happen, but he tells us in the Quran why he causes war to happen. He says, I send war for several reasons. Number one, I send war as a punishment to those who have deviated away from Tawheed or Rububiyah. Y'all see that? Number two, I send war as a means of cleansing the earth of bad people. Number three, I send war so that the true believers can see who the real believers are and who are the hypocrites. And finally, I send war to test the true believers with something better than all of this. So why is the war here? Because Allah willed it. And is it going to stop? It ain't going to stop unless Allah wills it. Now, do you guys see what I was teaching earlier today? Most of the world is Sufi. Pakistan is a Sufi country too. Y'all know that, right? I'm talking mystic Sufism too. Now, do y'all see? The majority of the Muslims on earth, their aqidah is corrupt. The majority of Muslims on earth don't believe in Allah's lordship. The majority of the Muslims on earth don't believe in his decree. And that's why Allah sent the war. He said, whenever you deviate away from belief in me, whenever you deviate away from my laws, my commands, expect for me to send war. And Allah knows best. So next question. And by the way, Sister Saba, I think you live in America. You need to stop dealing with these racist, hateful, terroristic Muslims. There's a lot of terrorists out there. They're the reason why Allah sent this war. And I've even heard some Muslims make the statement that there are no believers in America. These people are ignorant and they're filthy. They're filled with hatred against America because, I don't know, maybe they got a bad life. But you need to stop listening to renegade, hateful, evil people and instead seek out the true believers on earth and focus on learning Tawheed. Because if you keep listening to these people, sister, you're going to end up destroying yourself. And Allah knows best.
And her last question was, if someone comes to America, does that mean it's a ticket to the hellfire?
Does Allah mention anything in the Quran about America being the hellfire? The hellfire is a creation of Allah. And the hellfire exists. And Allah tells us that the hellfire is part of the unseen world. What does that mean, Saba? That means that we cannot see hell, but it does exist. And hell is not a part of this world. It's part of the hereafter. Okay? So anybody that's telling you that if they come to America, they're coming to hell. This is another terrorist, mystic, Sufi idiot. And you need to stay away from those people, Saba, because all they're going to do is destroy you. Those people who make comments like that, they're the reason why Allah has sent the war. And the war ain't in America. Is it a coincidence that the war is in their part of the world? The Prophet Muhammad said every fitna, every calamity that befalls this nation will begin in the East. He didn't say the West. And he told us why it will begin in the East. Because Islam came to them originally, but they deviated away from it. They chose the life of this world over it. So that's why Allah will punish that part of the world first. That's what your prophet said. So it sounds to me like you're hanging around a bunch of people who live in the East, who have deviated away from Tawheed, who don't understand La ilaha illallah, and they're hating on American Muslims because maybe they see that Islam is stronger here than it is there. Maybe because they see people like me speaking the true Islam, whereas people like them have deviated into Sufism and other garbage. So if I were you, I would cut those people free, because those people are nothing but people who are going to lead you to the gates of hell. And Allah knows best. Next question.
Next question is, I just bought a house for rental purpose, but I would like to know if it is halal to take it out an insurance policy on it.
Well, to be honest, you have no choice. Living in America, I know I rent an apartment. Most apartments here in America, if you rent an apartment, they're going to make you take apartment insurance. Just like if you have a car, they're going to make you take up car insurance. If you're renting a house, they're going to make you get a house insurance. So there's nothing you can do about it. You got to live. And America wants to make sure that if something happens, that the people get their money. So there's nothing you can do. If you have to have rental insurance like I do, you got to get it. Some things we have to do. Okay? Nothing you can do about it. And Allah knows best.
Next question is, what is the evidence that we cannot take part in presidential elections so I can tell my family about it?
It's real easy. Allah says it in the Quran. Well, first of all, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, a non-believer can never, ever, ever be a ruler over a Muslim. What's the source? Sahih Bukhari. Also, Allah says in the Quran, they will never, ever have your best interests at heart. The unbelievers, they want to do nothing but destroy you. They will never have your interests at heart. And there's other verses too. This is one of the basics of Islam. This is wala wal bara. Again, we have to get back to the basics and learn our religion. We don't even know that a non-Muslim can never be a ruler over us. That's why a woman cannot have a kafir as her guardian, as her wali. Wali is ruler, guardian over you. Okay? So there's your dalil. But you have the clear, direct hadith. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said a non-believer can never, ever, ever be a ruler or a leader over a Muslim. And Allah knows best. Okay. Yeah, these are basics, guys, that we have to learn our religion. You know, what makes you think that a kafir is going to have your interests at heart? Allah says in the Quran, they will never accept you. They will never like you. They will never have your interests at heart. So I don't know why you Muslims think that Allah is lying, that you can trust a non-believer to have your interests at heart. You guys should have learned that with Obama. All of you who voted for Obama, you can clap yourself on the back for passing LGBTQ. They don't have, their lifestyle is not like ours. Their interest is not like ours. So what makes you think you can vote for them? They're not going to be fighting for Ramadan. They don't care about Allah, ilaha illallah. They don't even believe in the Prophet Muhammad. So what makes you think you can put them over you as a ruler? It's just common sense. Okay, next question.
Next question is, where in America would you say is best for Muslims to live in?
Anywhere you want to. In fact, it ain't about America, guys. Allah says in the Quran that He created the earth. And Allah says you can live anywhere on this earth that you want to live, as long as you can practice your religion openly. So all this hatred against America, you guys are hanging around with some radical terrorists. Allah says that He created this earth, and we can live anywhere on this earth as long as we can practice our religion. And America has nothing to do with you practicing your religion, so live anywhere you want to. Okay? What's all the hatred about America coming from? Y'all hanging around with Al-Qaeda? Sounds like we got some Al-Qaeda people here. Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand this. That guy is a Sufi. Why are y'all listening to him? This guy is nobody. He's a Sufi, a mystic, the worst kind. They don't believe in the Qadr. Yeah, that's hatred. Anybody that's preaching hatred, y'all need to stay away from. Anybody that preaches hatred, you should never listen to that person. Okay, that's hatred y'all listening to, whoever this person is. He's preaching hatred. Maybe he's mad because he married some white woman and she wouldn't get him a green card. I don't know. It happens. I watch the TV shows. There's a lot of men in Pakistan trying to get to America because Pakistan, even though they got nuclear weapons, is still a third world country. You see it on TV. They all marry these white women and try to get green cards. Maybe he mad because he married a woman and she didn't get him a green card. I don't know. But y'all need to stop listening to these men preach hatred. These people are sick. Or maybe he married a white woman and he tried to get the green card, but the American government turned him down for being a terrorist. Maybe he got kicked out of America for terrorism. I don't know. But these people are crazy. Y'all need to stay away from those people that's preaching hatred. There's always an ulterior motive. There's always a reason behind it. Some woman, usually a white woman. Seriously, y'all watched America. What's that show called? You know. Look at all the men from Pakistan marrying these old American white women and they get denied citizenship because of terrorism. I don't know what this brother's problem is. Okay, next question.
Can you please explain this verse from the Quran? Because I see some people using it out of context. The verse is, as for the elderly women past the age of marriage, there is no blame on them if they take off their outer garments without revealing their adornments.
That verse of the Quran does not mean that because you reach a certain age, you can get naked and be Nicki Minaj. That verse is talking about women who are not a certain age, but they're senile. This is a woman that is close to death. Not only does she not have to cover up, but this is a woman that doesn't even have to fast because she's so old. She's so wrinkled up. She's so close to death that it's a hardship to even get up out the bed. She's exempt from fasting. She doesn't have to fast. She's senile and she's messed up. And it's also men fall in that category too. There's another verse talking about men like that too. But that verse of the Quran does not mean that because you're 30 years old, you can take off your clothes and become Nicki Minaj. That's why, like the prophet said, you will never understand the Quran until you learn the Hadith. Those verses were sent down when Allah sent down the rules of fasting for Ramadan and stuff. Okay? Certain people are exempt from fasting. And if a woman is so senile, so old and close to death, if you saw her standing in the street naked, no man would desire her. That's what it's talking about. A woman who is so old, so wrinkled, so frail, that if she walked outside butt naked and stood there, the men would just say, somebody help that grandmama. Somebody put that lady in the house. That's what the type of woman that particular verse is talking about. And there's another verse about men who are like that, who are senile and close to death too. So if you women are looking for an excuse to get naked and be Nicki Minaj, then you need to check your deen. That means that your belief system is tainted, because we are commanded to cover up. Let me give you an example. I am 63 years old. Do you think I can take off my hijab? Do you guys think if I took off my clothes and it's lawful? So it has nothing to do with age. It's about women and men who are so close to death that no one is attracted to them. That if you saw them naked, you'd have nothing but pity on them. I'm 63. You wouldn't want to see me naked, because I'd have your husband, and I'd have all your sons too, and your grandsons, and your great-great-grand ones too. All right? Is there any other questions about that from you sisters? You sisters better stop looking for an excuse to be a kafir. Y'all got to stop looking for an excuse to be like kafir women. Y'all better learn how to be like Aisha, radiallahu anha, like Salama, radiallahu anha, like Zainab, the prophet's stepdaughter. She was so beautiful. She never aged. They say because when she was young, the prophet sprinkled water on her face, and she never aged. She was old. She lived to be like 90 years old, but she had the face of a 20-year-old woman. She never aged. Did she walk around without a hijab on? No, she still covered up. So that verse is about senility. It's not about an excuse for you women to get naked and be Nicki Minaj. Y'all better learn to love yourself. And stop thinking the only way that you can stand out is by being naked. Now that's some kafirism that we have to get out of our bodies. I was born Muslim, so I ain't never had that in me. But a lot of these women that convert to Islam, they always looking for a reason to take off their clothes, and I don't know why. Yeah. Okay, next question.
If I am making up my fast from Ramadan, do I have to make them up in consecutive days, or can I take breaks in between?
No, they don't have to be. And that's a good question, guys. By the way, for those of you who have not yet made up your Ramadan, I hope you understand that Allah doesn't accept any of your other fasts. Allah does not accept voluntary fasts if you have not completed Ramadan. And you have only until the beginning, you have only until the next Ramadan to make it up. And it doesn't have to be consecutive. Just get it done. And you should get it done as soon as possible. Yeah. Yes, Sister Saba, he's banned. Well, now you see why. Maybe he's banned from America because he's an Al-Qaeda terrorist. That's why he's hating on America so much. Stop listening to those type of people. Everybody wants to come to America, and I don't know why. Y'all heard the story. I want to be in America. Plenty to see in America. I got the new washing machine. What do you have, though, to keep clean? Everybody wants to get to America. And when they can't get here, they get attitude. And it's usually about a woman. Some man married a white woman. And something happened. He couldn't get here. Or he got kicked out. So that's why he's hating on America. So stop listening to him. Yeah. Yeah, just stop listening to those hate people of hatred. Yeah, y'all watch those 90-Day Fiance shows. Y'all know it. They always got some Pakistan guy from over there, that part of the world, marrying some white woman. And look what happens. Yeah, they don't go for the black women because they racist, like the sister said. And the sad thing is, those men go for white American women, don't know that white American women will take you for a ride, and they so racist against black people. So he got a problem. Why are you listening to him? He's a terrorist. Yeah, that's true, sister. She said, that's true. Everybody wants to get to America. I don't know why. I don't know. Yeah, next question. Go ahead in there.
The next question is, why did the Prophet ﷺ recite the Tashahhud quickly, and the Hadith where the Prophet would recite it quickly as if he was sitting on a hot coal?
Which one? The first Hadith, the first Tashahhud, there is one Hadith. There's only one Hadith from a couple of companions that said he did that when they prayed with him. So what's the point? I don't know what the question is. There's one Hadith where one of the companions said he prayed with him and he did that. So what's the question? Why? I can't answer why. I don't know. I mean, are you asking me, do you have to do it that way? No. I don't know. He could have had to go to the bathroom. I don't know. Maybe he had to use the bathroom. I don't know. And that's just one hadith that one companion said he remembered him doing. And by the way, do I have anybody here for the dial pad? I got a call here. Hold on, guys. from Dpad. It just, oh, look, y'all, let's see what this one says. It says, I don't have no note. Where's my people at to take the calls? What? Okay, what is this? Evidently, I don't have no moderators to take the call. Okay, I don't know. Somebody called in, but they didn't complete their message. They just happens after the wrap trip. I don't know. I don't know who this is that called in on the phone. Okay. Whoever that was, you can call back because I can't understand what you're saying here. Okay, next question.
The next question is, a sister bought her kids' clothes from a person online. After she paid, she came to find out that the clothes were stolen from the store. When she found out, she immediately asked if she could give the clothes back and get her refund. However, the person said no refund. The sister wants to know, what did she do with the clothes in this case?
Okay, tell her she doesn't have to do anything with them because Allah doesn't hold her accountable for the sins of somebody else. And this is what we have to realize, guys. Allah doesn't hold you accountable for what somebody else did. Whoever sold her the clothes, they had her thinking that they were buying them online from them. So and that's what she did. She bought it online from them. But they're the ones that stole the clothes. She didn't know that they stole it. So Allah's going to hold them accountable, not her. So she doesn't have to do anything except don't do business with that person anymore. Once you find out that a person's a cheat, then you just know not to deal with them anymore. But Allah isn't going to punish her for what some other person did. And Allah knows best. So she doesn't have to do anything except not deal with that person anymore. That person cannot be trusted anymore. That's all. And Allah knows best.
The next question is, when I'm in the position of prostration during the prayer, can I take that time to thank Allah as well as after my personal supplication?
Yes. In fact, prostration is the best time to make supplication. The Prophet said, increase your supplications when you're prostrating. So when you're prostrating, you can make personal supplications. You can glorify, praise Allah, thank Allah, do whatever you want. That's the best time during the prayer to do that. Yes, and Allah knows best. In fact, the Prophet said, increase your supplications when you're prostrating. Also, increase your supplications when you're bowing. Okay, so even when you're bowing, you can increase your praise and glorification and stuff. Yeah, that's what you can. And remember, the supplication part is the sunan. It's a sunan of the prayer too. It's not a pillar, it's a sunan. Okay, and Allah knows best. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. One of the people here is typing about a lot of bad things. He said a lot of bad things goes on in Malaysia and Pakistan. Yes, I mean, there's fitna everywhere. A lot of bad things happen in Saudi Arabia too. A lot of bad things happen in Egypt. Do y'all think there's any utopia here on earth? There's no utopia anywhere on earth. Anybody that thinks there's a utopia, something is wrong with them. Utopia doesn't exist in this world. Utopia is only if you cross that Sirat bridge to paradise. Paradise is the only utopia. And it's not a part of this world. Exactly. Yeah, Brother Ibrahim said, Sister Layla, there are so many bad speakers. what do? You stop listening to them. It's just that simple. Don't listen to these people. But it should help you to see why Allah has sent this war. Now y'all see, Allah has reason, even though he doesn't owe us a reason. Okay? Stuff happens for a reason, cause and effect. We bring it on ourselves. What does Allah say in the Quran? Whatever evil befalls you comes from me too, as a result of what you brought on yourself. Isn't that what Allah says? So this war, what is Allah saying? This war came from him as a result of what we've brought on ourselves. So stop listening to these bad speakers. Yeah, why do y'all listen to them? Okay, here's another question. A brother is saying, is it true, Sister Layla? Well, let me read this. I can't see it. Is this true, Sister Layla, that even Imam Mahdi will not be believed and he will not have that many followers? Yes, that's true. The Prophet ﷺ speaks about that in numerous hadiths. When the Mahdi comes, he will announce who he is from Mecca. He will be in Mecca. He will announce who he is from the Kaaba. And they won't accept him. The Arabs will not accept him. You want to know why? Because they will be fighting. The Arabs will be fighting against each other for kingship, because the king of Saudi will have died and his sons will be fighting to replace him. Okay? And then the other countries, Syria, Iraq, Jordan, those countries will get involved. They'll all be fighting to see who will become the new king. And that's when the Mahdi will arrive. These hadiths are in Bukhari and Muslim. The Mahdi will arrive and announce who he is. He will try to get the Arabs to stop fighting, but they won't accept him. They'll threaten to fight him. It will be the people from Uzbekistan. The people from Uzbekistan and Jerusalem will be the ones to come and give their allegiance to the Mahdi and protect him. Uzbekistan and Jerusalem. There's one hadith that says he'll only have 75,000 followers. He will only have 75,000 followers in the beginning from Uzbekistan and Jerusalem that will support him. So yes, that's true. These hadiths are all authentic. Bukhari, Muslim, Muwatta. Yeah, so this is how it is. So that's why you young brothers need to be careful. Just because a person has a lot of subscribers and a lot of followers doesn't make that person a scholar. That person may be popular with Shaitan. He may be one of the awliya of Shaitan, but that doesn't mean he's an awliya of Allah. Not if he's preaching hatred and division and saying that he knows who's going to paradise and he knows who's going to hell. This ain't no scholar. This is a lunatic. Yeah. So you got to stop following these brothers. Yeah. Any other questions in there?
Yeah, the next question is it normal to constantly worry about your kids and your grandkids due to the times we are living in today, not knowing where their faith will be when the real war happens?
Yeah, that's anxiety. Even our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam suffered with anxiety. We have hadiths from Bukhari and Muslim where the Prophet said, I worry. Aisha asked him, do you suffer with anxiety? He said, oh, Aisha, I worry. I worry a lot about what's going to happen to my wives when I'm gone? Who's going to take care of you, my wives? He also used to worry about us, the later generation of Muslims. After Allah revealed to the Prophet Muhammad what would happen with the later generations, how we would divide, how we would separate, how we would kill each other, how we would distort Islam, and how search throughout the land there would only be a handful of true believers. The Prophet used to worry about us. He used to worry about the true believers and how we would, would fend for ourselves when we will be such a minority. So it's normal to have anxiety like that, but you have to balance it and don't allow it to overcome you. This is what I was speaking about earlier. Even with me, I have anxiety and I struggle to balance it. Don't worry too much, because remember, Allah knows best and we know less. So it's normal that you worry about the future of your kids, the future of your grandkids, like the Prophet worried about the future of his nation. But you have to keep the balance and know that just make dua. Ask Allah to protect your children and your grandkids. Make dua asking Allah that, to keep your children and your offspring on Siratul Mustaqim. That's all you can do. But don't become so consumed with your anxiety and your worry that you can't function. And that's where I am. I'm trying to balance to function, because I'm worried too. I worry about my grandchildren. I worry about my two little grandboys. I got two grandsons. My oldest grandson was killed 2 years ago. Shot and killed. Okay? So I got two little grandkids left. There are two little boys left, and I worry about them all the time. But I try to balance it. I just make dua. I say, oh Allah, make them strong. Let them grow up and be good Muslims, and let them be warriors, and for your cause. And let them have a good ending. That's what I do. Ask Allah to give your children and your grandkids a good ending. And ask Allah to give you a good ending. That's what I do. I worry about mine too, but we can't let it over consume us. Strike the balance. Yeah, next question.
The next question is, the Quran and the Hadith tells us what's going to happen. So why would there be a high number of Muslims who don't believe?
For the same reason, why there'll be more people in hell than paradise. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said the majority of the people in hell won't be there because they're not there because they never heard the message. And many of them are not there because they never heard about Allah. They're there because they chose to disobey Allah, to not believe in him. They chose this dunya, this world over the hereafter. So these Muslims don't want to accept the truth. Like I told y'all, that's why I focus on Tawheed or Rububiyah with you guys, the lordship of Allah. Many Muslims struggle with those four actions of Allah. That he's the creator of everything, that he's the sustainer of everything. They struggle with that. Okay? They struggle with the Qadr. The Prophet Muhammad said every nation has its fire worshipers. The fire worshipers of my nation are those people who claim to be Muslim, but they do not accept the Qadr of Allah. And that's our problem. We don't accept it. That's why I talked about the four different positions of Qadr today. We just, hikmah. Like I told you guys, wisdom comes from Allah. Allah guides whom he wills, and he gives hikmah or wisdom to whoever he wills. And now you guys understand the hadith where the Prophet said out of every 1,000 people 999 of them are going to be in hell. So you struggle to be that one Muslim that makes it to paradise. Yeah. They don't want to accept the truth. I can't understand how these brothers who have went to Islamic universities and got degrees in Islam, and they still don't understand that they cannot change the laws of Allah. I find that so hard to believe. How can you graduate from a university like the University of Medina and still not believe in Allah's decree? I struggle with that. I don't get it. I don't get it. But hey, Allah got it. So, that's, yeah, what can we say? All right, next question.
I work in a clothing store and we sell shirts with famous people, singers on it, and happy birthday headbands. Is it okay for me to be a part of this?
Allah, again, does not hold you accountable for what other people do. Okay, and this is clothing. This is not food. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with that. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was given a shirt that was made out of silk. He took that shirt and gave it to Umar and said, Umar, give this shirt to your brother who is not Muslim, because Allah has forbidden us men from wearing silk. So if it was, so what's that? There's nothing wrong with that ayah. Don't be a fanatic. You have to strike the balance. You can work in a clothing store. Now, if it was a store selling food, that's different. We can't sell pork. We can't sell alcohol. We can't sell anything that we put in our body, because anything that you put in your body destroys it. And we can't be a part of that. But clothing is something different. Okay, and Allah knows best.
Next question is, I'm engaged to what seems like a practicing Muslim brother. However, I'm concerned because he shows signs of being cheap and unprepared to be a provider. I'm worried about his ability to provide for me the basics if I marry him. Is it okay to overlook cheapness because he's a practicing brother? And
okay, this is an example. This is an example as to what happens when you ain't got a wali. Where's your wali? Before we go any further, that's a sign that she ain't got no wali. Where's your guardian? Because that's your guardian's job to deal with that, not you. How did you done met this man a way that was un-Islamic? If you had done it the right way, you wouldn't be faced with this problem. Your guardian is the one that finds a husband for you. You can't go looking for a husband on your own, because a woman don't know what to look for. And a game can be ran on a woman. A man can't play that game with another man. So this is what happens when we do things other than the way Allah said. Because if you had a guardian, your guardian would have investigated this man before he even approached you with him. And your guardian would have determined whether or not this man is a cheapskate and can take care of you. And if he determined he was a cheapskate, your guardian wouldn't even present this man to you. So now you're caught up in a situation because you went about it the wrong way anyway. This is why we need a guardian. That's why the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said no woman can marry without a guardian. That's why the Prophet said there is no marriage without a guardian for the woman. Because how can a woman judge if a man is a man? So you got yourself in a bad situation.
She says she's 23 and her father is involved. She said, I didn't meet with him alone. My father. It
ain't got nothing to do with it. Did your father check him out, or did you go find him on the internet yourself? Did your father find him? See, I'm another woman. We know the game. Did you go find this dude off of Facebook on your own? Or did your father come and say, daughter, I got a man that I think is decent for you to marry? Can't fool another woman. See how just like you can't fool me? Because I'm a woman and I know the game we play, a man can't fool a man because another man know the game he play. Your father's involved, but did your father get this man for you to marry? No, you went and found him off the darn internet on your own. So now you got to suffer the consequences. That's not the Islamic way to do things. And is she Bantu? Because if she Bantu, I'm going to really bring it home. Is she Bantu?
She said, yeah, she said our culture doesn't do all.
I don't want to hear about culture. Is she Bantu? Yes, she is. You violated the way. You went and got a man the way Kafir women did. You chose to go and find a man on your own like Kafir women do. So since you did, now you have to deal with the problems that Kafir women have to deal with. You are a Bantu. You was born Muslim. You come from a Muslim family. If you wanted to get married, you should have told your father and your uncles and your brothers, I'm ready to get married, and your cousins. And they let them look for you a husband from back home or wherever. But no, you decided to be like the Cardi B Kafir girls. So now, whenever we take on, like the Prophet Muhammad said, whenever we take on the character of the non-believers, we inherit their problems. So now you got the problem that the Kafir women have, a man that ain't no man, that ain't no man. And that also goes with the Hadith, where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, any woman who arranges her own marriage, it's doomed. Hello. Hadith is authentic. You should have known better, Bantus. You don't go finding no man like no Kafir woman do. So now you deal with the Kafir women problems. You probably get married, knocked up, and left behind.
Okay, she said she didn't find him. Her family connected them and they are related.
If you and your family connected you and y'all related, then you should know about him. If y'all related, then you should know about him. You should know what type of family he come from. Does his father provide and maintain? Does his brothers take care of their wives? Is his father strong? Is his mother strong? Are they practicing? If you related, you should be able to look at his family and tell what kind of man he is. Bottom line. So, like, only thing I can tell you, sister, is your father handles that. That's the question that you should be asking your father, not me, because your father is your guardian. So you go to your father and say, he seems like he's a cheapskate. Do you think he'll be best for me? And listen to what your father says, because that means your father knows his father and his father and his father, since y'all related. So ask your father, do he think this man would be good for you? And follow your father's advice. If your father say, no, I don't think this is going to work out, then tell him, okay, Dad, go find me somebody better from the family. Okay? You got it? I mean, seriously, does she get what I'm saying? Because her father can investigate him to see if he can take care of her and if he'll be good to her.
Yeah, she said she understands.
Yeah, tell her, deal with your father with that. And if he don't seem like he's good, tell your father to find somebody else from the family. Because, Bantus got big families. Good-looking families, too. Yeah. Yeah, they got good-looking people in their family. Girl, yeah, she did. Damn a dozen. Tell your father, toss him back and bring you another one. Yeah. Okay, here's another question. Walaikum salam, Sister Reefy. She said, let me put it up here so I can read it. She says, hold on. Is it very sinful to say the F word sometimes? When I get upset with my kids, I say it to them. I keep saying I will stop saying the F word, but I get angry with it. Yeah, I understand. Let me talk about this for a minute. The Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said one of the reasons as to why there will be more women in hell than men because of our tongue. He said when we're ungrateful to the men in our life, and also when we get angry, we use profanity. Every woman is capable of that, including yours truly. So it's something that we all as women have to work on. And that's why the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam told us women to give in charity, because giving in charity helps us to overcome the deficiencies we have with our tongue. And I can tell you, I know it works, because when I take my money and donate it to this website, I know I do less cursing. For some reason, I'm able to control my tongue better. Okay? The F word is a bad word. That's a word that you don't want to ever use. Try not to ever use. It's filthy, especially with your children. You don't want your children to grow up using such a filthy word. So try harder. Make dua. Ask Allah to give you the strength to overcome the trials of your tongue. And then do what I do. Like the Prophet told the women, give in charity. Give more in charity, because that will help us to overcome those deficiencies we have as women. Donate to this website. We always need the donations because we are a nonprofit and we are a female website. Donate. Although I got a lot of men here, this is really a female website. So, but yes, try not to use that word. That word is very filthy. It is. But I know where you are, because when I get angry, I mean, I can fly off the hook with that word too. That one and the B. My biggest word is the B word. Oh yeah. The B word is bad for me, but I haven't used that B word in a long time lately. I'm getting better. I haven't used the B word lately. But make dua. Ask Allah to help you to overcome it. The Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said in an authentic hadith, the source is Sahih Muslim. He said, some people are born with good character. And for those who are not born with good character, you can learn it. And he said, one of the ways to learn good character is to surround yourself with people who have those characteristics that you need. And another thing he said to do is to pretend that you have whatever the character is that you need. And then the third thing he said to do is to make dua, asking Allah to give you the characteristic that you need. So make dua, asking Allah to take away that filthy word from your vocabulary, and then give in charity too. Because the Prophet encouraged all women, since we will make up the majority of hell, especially because of our tongue. The Prophet encouraged all of us to give in charity as women. And Allah knows best. Yeah. Yeah, next question. Yeah, sister, is not that the sister here is asking me, so I can't look. No, you can't do that. That's not the Islamic way to find a husband. The sister here is asking me, so it's not good for me to look for a husband on the internet. No, That's what the Kafirs do. Why are we imitating them in everything? That's one of the signs of the last hour. The prophet said we will imitate the non-believers in everything they do, even finding a husband. You know, if you want to get married, you go to your father or whoever your guardian is and tell them that you're ready to get married and let them look for you a potential prospect. The same for you brothers. When you brothers are ready to get married, go to your family and have the women in your family look for you. That's the Islamic way. And those marriages work out better than a woman or a man looking on their own. Okay? Yeah, we have our rules. We have our fiqh regulations, just like the Kafirs have theirs. You know, we have to stop imitating them and bring back the sunnah. Yeah, exactly. Bring back the real way of getting married. Exactly. Allah knows best. Any other questions in there?
Next question is, will the Mahdi and Prophet Jesus meet? And how long will it be until the Mahdi dies?
Yes, they'll meet. And Allah knows best with all the other stuff. But yes, remember Jesus, alayhi salam, he will come back when the Mahdi is getting ready to lead the Muslims in the Fajr prayer. Jesus will come down the mosque, the silhouette of the mosque in Damascus. Okay, and he will come and meet in Jerusalem with the Mahdi. The Mahdi will ask him to lead the prayer. Jesus will tell him, no, it's not time for me yet. And he will, so the Mahdi will lead the prayer. And then after that, sometime after that, Allah knows best, the Mahdi will die. And that's when Jesus will take over. But if I were you guys, I wouldn't worry about that because we got a ways for that to happen. Instead, I would do what the prophet said do, work on our tawheed, our aqidah, because that stuff ain't going to happen until the war is over the entire earth. The entire earth is not at war yet. So you got a ways for that. Okay? Don't worry about that. Worry about today, right now. Because as the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if you live to see the Mahdi come, whoever did not believe in Allah before he came, they're not going to believe in him after he comes. And also the prophet said, whoever did not believe in Allah as he should before Jesus comes, it will not do you any good to believe in him after he comes. So before you guys worry about that, you better check your aqidah, because most Muslims are not correct in their aqidah. Like I said, most of us do not believe in Allah's lordship. So instead of worrying about the Mahdi and worrying about Jesus, worry about yourself. Because unless you have perfected your aqidah, if they come, you ain't going to believe in them anyway. You ain't going to follow them anyway. You're going to be with Shaitan. That's the reality. Okay? And Allah knows best. Next question. Exactly. That's the Hadith. A brother here says, Sister Layla, I've never heard anyone break it down like that. But you're right. That is what it says. That's exactly what the Hadith says. The Prophet said, if you don't believe in Allah as you should before they come, it's not going to do you any good to believe after. So that's why the Prophet said, fall back on your aqidah. If you live to see the trials and tribulations that's going on in the world, fall back on your belief system. Check yourself. Make sure that your belief system is correct. So we need to be focusing on ourselves right now to make sure that our belief system is the way it should be. So whenever these people do come, we'll be right there supporting them. But if we don't get our Akita together now, when they come, we're going to be like, that's not the Mahdi. Oh, no, we'll be right there with the Antichrist. So don't worry about that stuff. Okay, next question. That's why you need to have your English skills together, brother. If you're going to be teaching American people or English-speaking people the religion, y'all got to put all that Arabic aside and work on your English skills. He said, Layla, you talking about how well I explained that. He didn't think to explain. Yeah, y'all work on your English skills. All that Arabic, don't nobody understand that Arabic. You're dealing with Western people who don't speak Arabic. So you perfect your English skills. Go to school, take some English classes. Preferably grassroots American. Yeah. All right. Okay, next question. Go ahead. Yeah. My sister say you look tired. I am tired, but that's okay. Yeah. Exactly. Yes. Tomorrow, guys, a lot of classes tomorrow. The sister's asking me in the morning. We have Sister Samat. She's doing the names of Allah. Please make sure that everybody is here at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for Sister Samat. She's doing the names of Allah. That's Aqidah. And then we have Dr. Asim, inshallah, at 4. And then we have my class at 6:30. And then we have Brother Hanif. He's doing the Minhaj class at 7:30. And then we have, and by the way, Dr. Dramali. Let me text him right quick. Dramali's class is at you. I'm glad you reminded me, sister. Hold on. Yeah, his Quran class. Where is Dramali's? Yeah, let me make sure. Because he did that class yesterday. Knowing Dramali, he might think, oh, I did that class yesterday. So hold on. Let me make sure. What's today? It's a Friday? The hurricane's over. Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. Oh, he might be praying or something. I don't know. Or he might be asleep. But yeah, his class is supposed to be at 9 o'clock tomorrow. Inshallah. Yeah, I'll let y'all know. I'll put on the what surah of the Quran, what verses. You like that class that he's teaching? Alhamdulillah. Yeah, yesterday we had all Quran classes because I did, you had Sheikh Saud, you had Dr. Dramali, and then I did the Meqasidic Tafsir. Yeah, we had a lot of Quran classes yesterday. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. And by the way, guys, I did post up the shorts from yesterday. Make sure you guys go to my YouTube channel, click on the tab that says shorts. You will see the shorts from Sheikh Saud and Dr. Dramali, their lectures yesterday. I posted them up. Yeah. Alhamdulillah. Yeah. Any other questions in there?
That's all.
Okay. Well, I think that's all the questions for tonight. Inshallah. So what I'm going to do is close out because I do want to put the videos out. Yeah, because we got all those classes tomorrow. I need to set stuff up. But inshallah, guys, I want you guys to concentrate on your belief system. We're living in some trying times right now. You know, Allah, you know, is trying to tell us something, which is turn back to the traditional Islam. You know, we need to focus and prioritize our religion, focus on our religion and make it a priority to learn it correctly. You know, alhamdulillah, this website, we have classes every day. And we focus on Aqidah because that's what's going to save you in this world. And that's what's going to save us in the hereafter too, is our belief system. So, you know, try to attend all the classes here, you know, and make the change. You know, Allah says he'll never change the condition of a people until we take the steps to change the condition of ourselves. So you guys want to work on changing yourselves to that which is pleasing to Allah. All right. I want to thank everybody for joining and participating in this Q&A. Inshallah, please be here tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum, everybody, and everybody have a good night.